Cold_open the text arrived at 2:17 a.m. It read, "She's not answering. She hid her phone. We have to look." The screen glowed in the dark bedroom. My partner's thumb hovered over the call button. 2 years of chaos condensed into those 6 words. We promised ourselves we'd never become the kind of people who cut family out. But promises are made before the weight is measured. The relationship had been calm until they moved to our city. 2 years of nonstop drama followed. She was intense, unpredictable, always performing. She wanted to be rude on reality TV. She refused food at family gatherings and made the mother cook new dishes just for her. She recorded private conversations and sent them as evidence of wrongdoing. Inciting_incident: the barbecue was supposed to be simple. We invited them over. She locked herself in the bathroom, refused to come out, then vanished. We found her at a friend's house. "You were all having such a good time," she said. That night, they fought in the driveway. He locked himself in a room. She called their mother in another city and said she didn't know what he might do. The mother panicked and called us. Attempts_to_resolve: we tried. We offered help with the baby. They refused every offer but blamed us for not helping. When my partner spoke to his brother, the brother said he understood domestic violence now. When we spoke to the mother, they yelled instead of apologizing. Midpoint_reveal: then came the birth. During early labor, they argued. She cried on the floor that she didn't want to continue. He called her dramatic. 3 days later, we visited. I asked if her brother had been to see her. She exploded for 45 minutes, screaming that she wouldn't want the kids if we ever broke up. Second_escalation: they showed up unannounced. She said her mother had talked about my weight. She said they thought I was pregnant. She pushed and pushed. He joined in. She's always been obsessed with appearance, always commenting, always watching. After they left, I texted, "I won't tolerate this behavior. Come back when you're ready to act like adults." We haven't heard from them since. Now the mother says we're the ones alienating the family. Aftermath: the silence is heavy. The mother calls daily. She says we've broken her son's heart. She says we've made her daughter cry. She says we're the villains. But the texts remain. The recordings remain. The screaming remains. Moral_debate: was it wrong to set the boundary? Was it cruel to demand respect? Should we have kept absorbing the chaos? Should we have let her talk about my body in front of our unborn child? Should we have stayed silent when she recorded private moments and used them as weapons? Specific_judgment_CTA: so tell me, when someone repeatedly crosses your line, how many times do you forgive before you say enough? Here's the additional narration to expand the script, adding depth, timeline, dialogue, evidence, and resolution. Detailed timeline: the first red flag came 6 months after they moved in. My partner's brother, Jake, texted us at 3:02 a.m., "She won't stop crying. She says you're the reason she's unhappy here." We called the next morning. She answered, voice thick with tears, "You have no idea what I've been through. My husband is gaslighting me. The baby won't sleep. Your city is full of liars." She hung up before we could respond. 3 weeks later, at a birthday party, she cornered me in the kitchen. "You're so lucky you don't have kids," she said, eyeing my plate. "You can still fit into those jeans." I laughed it off, but my partner's eyes darkened. That night, he told me, "She's testing you. Don't engage." By month 4, the texts escalated. "Your mother-in-law thinks you're lazy," she wrote to my partner at 11:47 p.m. "She told my mom you never help with the baby." When we confronted his mother, she cried, "I never said that. She's lying." We had the group chat logs. The timestamps didn't lie. Reconstructed dialogue: the barbecue incident played out like a bad movie. I opened the door at 4:12 p.m. She stood there, mascara smudged, phone in hand. "I can't do this," she whispered. "They're all judging me." I stepped aside. She marched past, locked herself in the bathroom, and didn't emerge for 47 minutes. When we finally found her, she was curled on a friend's couch, sipping iced tea. "You were all having fun without me," she said, voice trembling. "Like I don't matter." That night, the fight erupted in the driveway. Jake slammed his car door. "I can't take this anymore," she screamed. He locked himself in the guest room. She called his mother at 1:03 a.m. "He's threatening to leave," she sobbed. "I don't know what he'll do next." His mother, 300 miles away, panicked and called us at 1:17 a.m. The text glowed on my partner's phone. "She's not answering." She hid her phone. "We have to look." Evidence details. We saved everything. The voice memos, the screenshots, the receipts. There was the recording from the babysitting incident, her voice, cold and accusatory. "You left the baby's bottle in the sink. You're a terrible grandmother." There were the texts from Jake's brother, "She's spiraling. I think she's bipolar." And the email from his therapist, forwarded without permission, "Your wife's behavior is concerning. She needs professional help." Family reaction section. His mother called us daily after the cutoff. "You've destroyed my family," she sobbed into the phone. "My daughter hasn't stopped crying." We sent her the logs. She responded, "Those aren't real. She's being framed." His father, usually quiet, texted, "This isn't like you. You're better than this." We replied with the audio files. No response. Jake's sister, the only one who didn't engage, messaged us privately, "I'm sorry. She's always been like this, but it's worse now." She sent us a photo, our sister-in-law at 16, mid-meltdown at a family reunion, arms crossed, glaring at the camera. "She's been performing her whole life," she wrote. Counterargument from the other side. They framed us as the villains. His mother wrote a letter, circulated to cousins, "My son's wife is being bullied. They cut her off because she's mentally ill." They shared the story on social media. Family turned their backs when we needed them most. His aunt commented, "Shame on you for abandoning them in their time of need." They argued we were too privileged to understand. His sister-in-law posted, "You think you're better than us because you have a nice house and a stable job. We had the bank statements. We'd lent them $2,000 for diapers. They never repaid it." Aftermath. The silence lasted 18 months. Then, out of nowhere, Jake texted, "Can we talk?" We met at a diner. He looked tired. "She's in therapy," he said. "She realizes she was out of control." We listened. He apologized for the weight comments, for the baby drama, for the recordings. "We want to rebuild," he said. We agreed to coffee. One time. But then she texted him, "They're still mad at us. They think we're liars." And just like that, the cycle restarted. The last text was from his mother, "You'll regret this when you're old and alone." Final moral debate and specific judgment question. Was it wrong to set the boundary? Or was it necessary? They say we abandoned them, but we tried for 2 years. We offered help, we listened, we absorbed the chaos. But when she stood in our living room, screaming about my body in front of our unborn child, something broke. The question isn't whether we were right or wrong. The question is, how many times do you forgive before you say enough? How many boundaries do you redraw before you realize some people will never respect them? And when you finally walk away, are you the villain, or are you the one who refused to let the poison spread? So tell me, when someone repeatedly crosses your line, how many times do you forgive before you say enough? Timeline reconstruction. The timeline is what makes the conflict feel less like a misunderstanding and more like a pattern. First, there was trust, a key given for emergencies. Then there was access. The apartment became available whenever the sister wanted to blur the line between borrowing and ownership. Then came performance. Friends were invited into a space they had no right to enter, and the lie became easier to maintain because nobody challenged it at the door. The evidence. The strongest evidence was not a dramatic confession. It was the ordinary paperwork that had been ignored the whole time, the lease, the rent, the bills, the key, and the fact that every adult in the room understood whose home it actually was. Those details matter because they turn the story from family drama into a boundary violation. The other side, the sister's defense would probably sound emotional. She might say she only wanted to impress people, that she did not think anyone would get hurt, or that family should share what they have. The problem is that none of those arguments answer the real question: why did she need to lie about ownership to get what she wanted?